YouTube script: The Rulers Who Were Destroyed by Lust. History is full of stories of power, glory, and war. But behind the palace walls, there is another story. The story of kings and emperors who had the mightiest armies, but were defeated by their own desires. Today, we will talk about three rulers whose lust and personal desires not only destroyed them, but also changed the fate of their nations. Part 1. King Farouk of Egypt, the King of the Red Knights. First on our list is King Farouk I of Egypt. When he became king at the age of 16, the Egyptian people had high hopes for him. But Farouk had another dream, a dream of a lavish life full of pleasure and entertainment. Farouk was known as the King of the Red Knights. He had an endless appetite for women, gambling, and nightlife. While his people lived in poverty, he spent the nation's wealth on his personal desires. His palaces were filled with the most beautiful women, and his gambling tables were active until dawn. This lifestyle made him completely neglectful of his country's affairs. Corruption spread throughout his government, and the army grew discontent. Finally, in 1952, the Free Officers, led by Gamal Abdel Nasser, carried out a military coup. Farouk was forced to abdicate the throne and was exiled from Egypt forever. The king who once had everything died alone in exile. His desires stripped him of his crown. Part 2. Caligula, the mad emperor of Rome. Now we travel to ancient Rome, to one of the most cruel and depraved emperors in history, Caligula. Caligula was a beloved ruler at first, but power soon drove him mad. His sexual desires knew no bounds. Historians say that he had sexual relations with his own sisters and even forced the wives of high-ranking senators to sleep with him. But his madness didn't stop there. It is said that he turned the imperial palace into a large brothel to increase the state's revenue. Anyone who opposed him faced a horrific death. These despicable acts made everyone, from the common people to his own personal guards, hate him. Finally, in the year 41 AD, the Praetorian Guard, the emperor's elite bodyguards, assassinated him inside his own palace. Caligula became the ultimate example of a ruler whose lust and madness cost him both his power and his life. Part 3. King Edward VIII, the king who gave up the throne for love. Our third story is different. This is not the fall of a ruler by coup or assassination, but by his own choice. We're talking about King Edward VIII of Great Britain. Edward was in love with an American woman named Wallis Simpson. The problem was that Wallis had been divorced twice. At that time, the Church of England, of which the British monarch is the head, did not permit the king to marry a divorcee. The British government and the royal family gave Edward two choices: either give up Wallis Simpson or give up the throne. In a historic speech, Edward announced, "I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility and to discharge my duties as king as I would wish to do without the help and support of the woman I love." And just like that, he gave up the largest empire in the world for the woman his heart desired. While this is a story of love, from a political perspective, it was a major downfall for a king who placed his personal desires before his national duty. Conclusion. The stories of Farouk, Caligula, and Edward are three different examples that teach us one truth. When a ruler puts their own desires before the interests of their people, their fate is downfall. History has proven that absolute power can lead to absolute corruption, and that boundless lust can bring down the greatest of kings from their thrones. What do you think? Do you know of other rulers who met a similar end? Let us know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos like this. Until next time, goodbye.